everybody. Welcome back to Donna's Dreamworks. Paper Dreamer 1 here on YouTube. And a good morning Sunday here. Beautiful day. And I just thought I'd stop in quick and check in. This is a Weight Watchers check-in. I've just completed my first week back on Weight Watchers after quite a hiatus, actually. And this was the first week that I was doing the Freestyle program. So I was learning as I was going. But I did fairly well. I lost 2.6 pounds in the first week. I'm very happy with that. I was spot on with my tracking. I'm very proud of the fact that I was spot on with my tracking. But I was not spot on with my activity and or drinking water. And those of you who followed me before know that drinking water is probably the hardest thing I ever do on this program. And I haven't picked up any of my flavorings yet. I usually use like a blueberry flavoring, one of those sugarless little drops things you can put in your water. And that way I can get it down better than just plain water. It's a struggle, it really is. So, if I was not that great with my exercise, I think I only exercised with my 30-minute laps in the pool 3 times out of the week. So if I increase my activity this week and increase my water, I should be good to go for another week. I thought I'd share with you a couple of the things that I had this week and talk about some of the recipes that I tried. I looked at a young lady on YouTube, Amanda Seipert, and I'll give a shout out to her. She does a lot of meal prep because she works and takes these for lunches and so on. As you know, I'm retired, obviously, but I still do like to have meal prep made, especially for lunch. Lunch, I find, is the hardest meal for me to be creative with, for the simple reason I love a nice breakfast and I love a nice dinner. And at lunchtime, it's like, I don't know what else to have. I mean, you can have salad just so many times, and then you had, nah, I don't want any of that. So I was looking at her creative ways of making some meal prep, and I used one pretty close. I used another one somewhat close, and then I made up one of my own. So the first one that I used was a breakfast muffin. Now, what I did for that was to take a whole large container of the egg beaters, mix it in a bowl, and add whatever you want. I have bags of that seasoning mix, which is onions and peppers. I had a little Rotel tomatoes. You could add spinach. You could add broccoli. You could add whatever you'd want to put in the egg, okay? Then I sprayed a casserole dish and put the whole thing in the casserole dish and baked it for about 25 minutes in a 350 oven. And it comes out nice. It's like almost like a type of crustless quiche, basically. And so what I did is then cut it in squares or rectangles or however, and I got 10 out of that pan. So those squares were then put into a bagel thin. Now the bagel thins are 3 points for 1. And I also put in a piece of Canadian bacon and 1 slice of reduced fat 1 point cheese. I think it was Swiss, actually. So when you consider all of those, the egg mixture was 0. The Canadian bacon is basically 0 because it's 3 slices of Canadian bacon to make 1 point. And the piece of cheese was 1. So, and the bagel thin was 3. So you have a 4-point breakfast sandwich, which I then wrapped in foil and put in the freezer and can take out and zap in the microwave, and it makes an excellent sandwich. I find that it's high enough in protein that I really am not hungry during the rest of the morning. So it works out very well. So that's one I have used. The only recommendation I would have is if I plan to have one tomorrow, I will take it out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator tonight. It's a little difficult to get all of the pieces heated up without the bagel becoming so rubbery that it's no longer appetizing. But that's an excellent, excellent thing, and it's a grab and go if you're working. And so I will continue to use those. And I got 8. There are 8 bagel thins in a package, and I got 8 servings out of that, plus 2 others that I could just put on a plate with some fruit, which I did. So that was one idea. She also did a stuffed pepper, where she took half a pepper and used chicken. I think she had chicken breast. I happen to have chicken tenderloin, which is chicken breast. I sauteed those up in a pan with a little bit of onion and just some spray. I didn't really put oil in the pan, but just some spray. I used a nonstick pan, some onion, and then added seasoning, some garlic, and maybe a little seasoning, onion, salt, or garlic powder, or whatever you feel like that's tasty for you. And then stuffed that into the pepper. So that was in the pepper, and then next to that, I had a bag of frozen vegetables that I put in the oven and kind of roasted them or cooked them up. They take about 25-30 minutes. And I put a serving of those. So you had a stuffed pepper and a serving of vegetables, and basically that was 4 points. Oh, I'm trying to think, why was it 4 points? And that's because there's a half a cup of brown rice under the pepper in each of the boxes. So that's where you get the points from, basically. That was excellent. And the other thing was the 1 slice, 1 point cheese. So you had the pepper stuffed with chicken with the 1 point piece of cheese over the top of it on a bed of brown rice with a side of mixed vegetables. I think it was a California blend, which is cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. And I made 4 boxes of those and labeled them and put them in the freezer. And that's really a lunch. It's a 4-point lunch. And that's what I will use it for, not for a dinner, because I'm pretty good at figuring out a dinner menu. The other one that I made on my own. I like chicken cordon bleu. Doesn't everybody like chicken cordon bleu? But I didn't want to have the breaded fried chicken cordon bleu. So I took a chicken breast, and these were really thick chicken breasts. So I cut them in half horizontally, okay, and then pounded them till they were fairly thin. I stuffed them again with a piece of that 1 point cheese and some spears of asparagus, rolled it up and tied it, and then baked it off in I used my New Wave oven. And then I just put those in the freezer boxes, and along with another serving of the mixed vegetables and some oven roasted potatoes. And so that ends up being a 5-point meal. And so I actually ate one of those for dinner one night because my husband was having something that I was not going to be eating. So I said, well, that's an easy enough thing for me to take out. The boxes that I use are these bento boxes that you can get at Walmart. And there we are. You can see. They're just a sturdy plastic box, but they are dishwasher safe, microwave, and freezer. So they work out very well, and the size of them, this one is 1 solid compartment. Sorry for the glare. This is 1 solid compartment. They have some that are 2 or 3 compartments, but I'm fine with the 1. So that's what I've been using. So we had those 3 make-ahead type of meals, and they really were helpful. The one meal that I made one night that I thought was fantastic and so easy and really no points. I took portobello mushroom caps, and I took some of the extra lean ground turkey, and I took a bag of coleslaw mix and some chopped onion. And I cooked the turkey, the coleslaw mix, and the chopped onion in a fry pan until it was all wilted and nice and soft and cooked. I then took a good scoop, I'd say a good half a cup of it, and stuffed it into the top of the portobello mushroom cap. And then baked them off in the oven for about 25 minutes just to soften or to cook up the mushroom, because the rest of it's already cooked. I didn't add any cheese or anything. The only seasoning I put in it was salt, was some pepper and soy sauce. I made them almost like a Chinese stir-fry type of thing. And so there was quite a bit left over after I made those. So I bought a package of egg roll wrappers, and I made egg rolls out of the rest of what I had left. And I think I ended up making 8 egg rolls. And I baked them again in the New Wave oven. And they are out of this world delicious. And a great lunch. They are approximately, I gave myself 2 points, but they're actually only 1 point. There's 1 point for the egg roll wrapper. And the meat, the soy sauce, the onion, and the coleslaw aren't any points. I just kind of felt, because I used in the whole recipe a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, it was like a higher sodium content, so I just wanted to not overdo with eating them. But they're basically 1 point egg rolls, and they're a great lunch. They are much better if you zap them again in some kind of an oven, not a microwave, because the egg roll gets doughy, but in like a regular oven, toaster oven, or a New Wave oven if you have it. So that's all. The only other one I used was fish packets, and I'm going to do a fish packet with you guys this coming week. They are so easy. Everything is inside a piece of parchment paper. They're 1 pan or 1 pot meal, easy cleanup, and cooked in the microwave in 10 minutes. So, so we'll do that one together next week as part of my meal prep. I haven't figured my menu for next week yet. I will be shopping probably tomorrow or Tuesday, and so I will have a menu. And what I do is I create a menu for the week and then buy the items that I need for that menu. So again, for 1 week on Freestyle, I found the hardest thing is I don't eat the points. And I mean, it's not like I'm not eating, but I have usually, the most I have had on a day would be 15, but I'm usually around 12 points at the most. Now, yesterday was different, and let me tell you my story. We went out last night to a New England night, and they served ham, oven roasted potato pieces, and vegetables. Fine, no problem whatsoever. I didn't have the carrot cake, but when I came home, I had a piece of chocolate out of a Valentine's box that my sister had brought over the day before, God bless her. And when I looked it up this morning, it said a piece of chocolate any kind is 12 points. Well, hello. So yesterday I actually ate 25 points. Now I have the extra points for the week, but I don't plan to eat 25 points. So that rest of that box of chocolates, all pretty heart-shaped box of chocolates, is in the trash and gone. I said, I'm just not even going to have it in the house. So it's gone. I won't miss it. But it was sitting there looking at me, so that's why I ate it. So anyway, so that's my story for my first week back on Weight Watchers. I'm going to be back with a crafting video either later today or tomorrow. But I wanted to check in and say that we're back on track. And I had put on almost 14 pounds in my sabbatical. So 2.6 has, I still have a ways to go before I even get back to where I was, but it's going in the right direction, and it will continue to go in the right direction. So I'm glad to have talked to all of you. I hope you're having a great Sunday, and I'll be back again shortly with a craft video. Bye-bye.